Hello and good evening and welcome back to another episode of what we called November Foxtrot. That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that's still us, mate. Hasn't changed. It's all good.
No, Lance and I were talking about something from Airsoft International, which we'll cover in a sec. But I was about to say welcome to Airsoft International, and it's definitely not that.
Yeah. Oh.
How are you doing,
mate?
Lance?
I'm good. I'm all good. Yourself?
Yeah, really glad it's Friday.
Oh, mate, don't. I'm working
Such a long
tonight, so don't. Mine hasn't finished yet, so I've got my Saturday to look forward to.
Yay! I feel for you.
Yeah, you look like you do.
Yeah. Hi, Lee. Good evening. Thanks for joining.
Evening all.
There's somebody else on Facebook as well, I can tell. So it's Lee and somebody else. Whoever else it is, hello and welcome. Join us.
Hello, you lurking in the shadows. We see you.
Oh, Lance, do you want to? Hi, Edward. Thanks for
Evening,
joining.
Ed.
Do you want to show everyone your new ghillie suit?
Well, to be fair, I'm still trying to source a tailor to mass produce it, but I mean, I can give you a quick demo now of the offset ghillie suit.
Go for it. While we're waiting for everyone to join,
I'm not quite sure on a price yet, but you know, essentially, it's a full covering. So bear with me just to. There we go. Obviously, you can cover the head. There we go, like
that. Edward just said, "Oh my god, I'm a crafter. How appropriate." And that's it for November Foxtrot this week.
Could you imagine though, just literally sitting there like that, and then Ed makes custom ghillies. I'll be messaging you afterwards then, mate, for a 4-acre green screen to follow me around on some big stands.
Edward, I don't know if you saw our previous ghillie episode. Would be interested to see what your thoughts are on that. If you've got any comments, if you want to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I've crafted my own sort of hood top half section, which would be good.
We've both tried.
We've tried. We did try. I mock your work. No, sir. No. You've got far more patience than I have, buddy, to make a full ghillie suit. I managed the top bit, and I can't concentrate for that long. Sorry. So that's why it's only the hood and the shoulders, really.
Hi, Rach. Hi, Wayne.
Evening, gentlemen. Oh, Wayne's here. Wayne, I do think about you during the week, and this is the jungle pack. I know you asked about the jungle bag from Snug Pack. That's how small it is, buddy. So there you go, tin of Diet Coke.
It does look exactly the same as the
It is very, very. It is
blanket.
Yeah. Jungle bag, built-in mosquito net, by Snug Pack with antibacterial fabrics. Wonderful. So there's that, Wayne. Think of you all the time, bud.
Edward said, check out Silly Ghillie if you want me to make you one. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Shameless plug from Edward. Oh, how dare he?
Not a sponsor yet.
Hashtag not sponsor. Hashtag delete that comment. Hashtag.
So, gents, it is just Lance and I this week. I think Mike Marden has unfortunately had to step back from the November Foxtrot. So we'll be missing him in future episodes. But Paul is on a temporary hiatus. What with Bay. Yeah, so it'll just be Lance and I for sort of a few episodes. We're kind of hopefully bringing a few extra guests and sort of some people to talk to, because otherwise it might devolve into debauchery.
Me and the missus just arguing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the other guys will be sorely missed, won't they? So,
yes.
Hats off to Mike.
Yes.
He's obviously decisions he's had to make come easy, but family's number one and all that. And obviously with Paul, his expanding family, he's got to be there to look after them and do bits and bobs. So we wish him all the best and a return to the podcast soon enough. So yeah, cheers, gentlemen, Mike and Paul, to both of you.
No, they haven't died, to clarify.
They haven't died. No, absolutely not. They haven't.
They're not dead.
They're not dead. They're just sorely missed by us.
Yes.
So,
Lance, I was going to jump in. I jumped in enthusiastically a little bit too early.
You did, yes. Took me by surprise.
Yeah. You had a news story about Airsoft International. For those that were right at the beginning of the stream, you'll now get the segue.
I heard through the grapevine that Airsoft International are recently, not sure if it's available yet. I think it might be.
It is. You can buy it.
They've released I believe it's a hardback book, and it's a guide to airsoft loadouts. So I think it covers between sort of 10, 15 different types of styles from different eras of the military, and it gives you sort of links and guides to, I suppose, to maybe not the reenactment level where it's like grade A. You know, it is the kit that they would have worn then is what you've got in front of you now. It's very similar replica kit or aftermarket kit, which looks, you know, nearly as what it could be to the real thing. So it's like a guide for different loadouts you want to try, like a Russian loadout or Spetsnaz, or could be
shall I read you? I've just found it on the old World Wide Web. I can just read you the first sentence. It says, The Essential Guide to Airsoft Gear provides the perfect introduction to assembling some of the most sought-after gear you need to look the part on a skirmish field. Featuring iconic loadouts from units such as 22 SAS at the time of Bravo 20, US Army Rangers, and Delta at the Battle of Mogadishu, through to modern-day Russian Special Forces of the Alpha Group. It covers in detail how to recreate the uniforms and equipment worn by each troop type, and explains how to source the different elements from airsoft kit retailers. And it's got all sorts of stuff in there. You've got Bravo 20, Black Hawk Down, Old School Force Recon, Special Air Surface Regiment, Task Force Black, MARSOC, CTSFO 2019, the Alpha Group, Top 5 Fast Helmets, all sorts of stuff in there.
That's cool. Yeah, nice little guide there, little reference book.
So it's called The Essential Guide to Airsoft Gear, if anyone's interested. Again, they're not a sponsor. We just, you know, it looked interesting.
That's it, yeah. And a one-word thing, you can't get it. I don't think you can get it from Airsoft International. It's not sold specifically by Airsoft International. I think you can get it on Amazon, eBay, and I think the publicist is Osprey. I think you'll be able to source it for it. But I think it's available in Waterstones, normal bookshops, things like that. So, yeah, just look out for it. But
I'll tell you what, I'll put a link on the Facebook page, and then if anybody doesn't have access to Facebook, specifically Rage, I'll message me and I'll send you a link separately.
Yeah. We'll stick the book inside a comms pouch and blast it over to you, mate. There, no worries. I've already seen the comment. Yeah, I've spotted it already. I've seen it.
Yeah. Hi, Gaz. Thanks for joining.
Evening, Gaz. All right, mate.
So this week we are talking about Rubber Dub Dub. So it's a kind of generic hygiene welfare mix of stuff.
Keep yourself going for a weekend, I suppose.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, there's a few things that you need to sort of consider with airsoft defence. Obviously, you've got your main sort of rifle, your pew, your kit, what you're wearing, what you look like, etc. Safety stuff. But obviously, it's not much fun if you get a blister or, you know, what else could you get?
Butt rub.
It's just, butt rash, or whatever it was.
Butt rash.
Yeah, that's a thing we'll segue into later.
Arse plague, whatever it's called. Crotch rot, arse plague, butt rash.
So we're going to start off with underwear and sort of kind of undergarments and things like that. I think you wanted to start with your fancy socks, Lance.
Oh yeah, well I have got them to hand here. Yeah, obviously seal skins, especially through the winter months, wet months, and that. Obviously these socks aren't to be worn as your normal patrol socks or whatever it is. You'd only use these if your boots have been submerged. Then when you're out of the water, obviously you can chuck these on with a dry pair of socks, and this will absorb. These are designed to absorb the water out of your boot and keep it within this sock and not penetrate through to your new dry sock. So yeah, set a couple of pairs of sealskin socks, chaps. They'll see you all right, especially if you're involved in an event which is in like wetlands or it's got a lot of wet ground, or obviously due to the weather we've had recently, if we'd done an event over the past couple of weekends, it would have been, you know, horrible. So bear that in mind. Couple of spare pairs of socks, obviously the sealskin socks, and then obviously going on from that is make sure you've got your foot powder and that for drying your feet. Make sure they're dry in the evenings, and like a little towel. That ghillie suit is actually a microfiber towel I've got, but it's a green. So you know, what do you want me to do? I held it up and I'm going to show you this, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not, but you know, invisible face. Hello. So there, a microfiber towel just for drying yourself down and things like that. And that's sort of like your foot care side of things. Make sure you're keeping your feet dry, changing out your socks, bits and bobs like that.
Gaz says he's still got his from the army. Best bit of kit he has right now.
Oh, what's that? Your sealskins?
I'm assuming so. It's either that or a tactical invisibility apron or towel, whatever it was.
His tactical invisibility cloak that he swiped from Harry Potter.
One thing I was going to talk about with underwear was I quite often have a compression layer. So if it's I don't know, it doesn't generally tend
to the general public.
No, it's like it's the sort of stuff you wear to the gym and things. It's just like that really lightweight fabric. You know, if it's a really hot day. Yeah, if it's a really, really hot day and obviously you're sweating loads, obviously the BDU is quite nice because you can whack those on and they dry quite quickly. But it's quite nice to have something you can just change into back at the fob if you need to for sort of half hour. So I usually have one of those. It's quite nice. Again, it's also something you can wear underneath as another layer in sort of colder months.
Well, I remember once one event I got a terrible, really horrid chafe, like red raw chafe, and I can't think.
You need some butt shield.
Not only that, but I was also told about the long, almost knee length Under Armour type cycling short type training undergarment, if you like, and I think they're about 25, 30 quid. And I thought, well, some people are sworn by them. I can't remember who it was now. I do apologise. I will remember and I will give you credit. But I bought a pair of them and they are fabulous. Highly recommend getting yourself a pair of them. If you like me and you do tend to suffer with the occasional dose of chub rub, a pair of Under Armour long cycling short type pant brief type things will see you good. So have a look up for them chaps. They're a good bit of kit. Nothing worse than chafe. It's horrible, bastard horrible.
Gaz just said he had to hand his tactic cloak in. They tried to hide it with these thermal to find him.
Bastards. They'll always get you, mate.
Just going back to the sealskins, Edward just asked whether sealskins, if it's wet, am I doing it wrong then?
Ed, I'll be honest with you, mate. I haven't had to use these properly yet. But luckily for me, my brother-in-law is an ex-instructor. He did mod from the army as a sergeant, and the methodology behind the sealskin sock is they're not to be worn as a sock, everyday sock. If you was going out on patrol, you wouldn't have your sealskins on to start with. Basically, if you went through a river crossing with your normal patrol socks on or your thermal sock, whatever they might be, in your boots, and your boot got submerged, the inside of your sock was wet, the inside of your boot was wet. When you go out the bank the other side, whip your boots off, take your wet socks off, dry your feet, you put a dry pair of normal socks on, and then you put the sealskin sock over the top, and then you put your boot on. And then what the sealskin does, it prevents water penetrating into your new dry sock, but it also absorbs the water out of your boot into the sealskin. And that's the idea behind it. So then when you get back to your fob after your patrol, you change out your sock again, put another pair of dry socks on, put the second pair of sealskins on over the top, leave your wet sealskins to dry, and then I think 2 pairs of socks to potentially draw all the moisture out of your boot within 12 hours or something like that. So you need 2 pairs at least if your boot's been fully submerged. But I don't think they are designed to be worn all day as a patrol sock. They're designed to just get you out the shit if you've gone submerged in water, mate, basically. That's what I've been told.
There's a lot of love in the chat on the old long leg boxes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I haven't done it. I mean, I went to a few events, and I've ended up getting chafe, and I've just sort of never thought about it until it was Gary Mount. Gary Mount, sir, you're a gentleman. Gary told me about him, and he said, yeah, long pair of Under Armour long leg cycling short type things, and they're wicked, brilliant, so comfortable, and they keep the boys in the barracks nicely as well. So you haven't got to worry about them flopping out or getting stuck to your thigh or anything. You know the rules.
So moving on from underwear, we're going to talk about sort of welfare items now. Now, I generally tend to carry this little bad boy. This is my welfare kit, and I usually this kind of sits in my Bergen for most of the time. If we're going to go on any sort of like longer patrols, then I usually sort of chuck it in my day sack. And I'm just going to run through a few of the items I've got in here. So obviously, I've got a pack of tissues. It's fairly standard. I've recently added some antiviral hand foam. The hand foam's obviously there's the C word going on at the moment. Clearly, none of us want to catch that. But this is also good for...
Oh, that C word. Sorry, I thought you meant...
No, different C word.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the other one.
This is good for if you go out to eat, anything like that. It's obviously just a little bit hygienic. What else have I got in here? So I've got some Rennie. I don't know about anyone else. I seem to find that MREs can sometimes be horrific for giving you indigestion. I know I've sort of dosed a few of these out to sort of a couple of players in the team.
Daniel in our team has kept Rennie in business. I've never seen a man eat so many Rennie as that man does. Honestly, unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously you can get rid of acid with like lots of hydration. So just keep drinking water. Cucumber's a good one for Rennie. Cucumber's a good one for indigestion. But unless you're carrying around a Bergen of cucumbers, it's not ideal. So packet of Rennie, that's always a good one. I've also got some antiseptic wipes. So again, this is good for if you're about to eat or you want to clean anything. So like, I always try and clean my spoon, which is also in here somewhere. I know some people don't, but I've got the long-handled spoon for eating dinner. So I always use one of these to clean that, which is really good. Yours is titanium, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mine's aircraft grade aluminium.
The numero uno, the grand fromage of the long spoon, the big cheese.
Yeah, honestly, for anyone getting into MilSim, buy one of these, or not necessarily this one, but like a long-handled spoon. There is nothing worse than when you're sitting there with an MRE and you haven't got a pair of scissors, because there is a way, obviously, you can tear the bag as you get lower down.
That's smart. I said that last week about cutting the bags down short, and it's like, no, we don't have time for that. We need long spoons to stop bean knuckles. Don't want bean knuckles.
So that's that. I've got some camo face paint. These are generally, it's just this kind of try 3 colours with the mirror. That's always a good one as well. To see what you're applying. I found this a bit hit or miss, personally. I know we discussed this in the camouflage episode. I've had 2 of the same brand, I'll say. I don't know if some of them might be fake, whether they've taken like the original one and then kind of refilled it with something else. But I had one of these, and it was on the skirmish day that we went to for my birthday, and it was like trying to apply Play-Doh to my face.
That was hilarious.
It was hilarious for you, but I had this gob of this stuff on it. It went like that, and it just rolled down my finger like the rest of it, and it didn't really work very well.
I'd like to have watched you apply it in like a slow-mo film with some nice like Enya playing in the background or something. That'd have been good.
Oh, blimey. What else have we got? Hand warmers, couple hand warmers. They're always good. Talking about last week with the sleeping bags, if you do get a bit cold at night or whatever, these are 10 hours. These are from Hot Hands. I think I got these as a bulk buy on eBay, which meant that they came out a lot cheaper than they were if you bought them normally. But yeah, 10 hours of heat, that's quite good. Yep. You do have to be careful if you sit on them in your sleeping bag, though.
Yeah.
I've got emergency poncho. So this is nothing special. This is literally just a little clear polythene bag poncho.
Baby wipes, guys. I've got them, son.
Yeah, I've got that. Well, I've got antiseptic wipes instead of baby wipes. I've got like adult wipes.
Triple X wipes.
Let's move on. I have a small lighter.
Yeah, that sleeping bag's also handy to keep your sock in as well, inside your sleeping bag. Yeah, the precious sock. Keep that in there.
I've got my little turbo lighter. Got one of those in there. Floss. I went on a MilSim and I got something. No, genuinely, I went on a MilSim and I got something stuck in my teeth. And for about 2 hours, I was like trying to find bits of like stick and leaf and all sorts to try and get this thing out of my teeth, because it was, when you get something proper stuck in there, it was so painful. Like,
do you know what the worst thing to get stuck on your tooth is? It's the skin off a baked bean. Have you ever had that? And you're sitting there going,
I haven't had that, no.
I've had it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the shape. Maybe my teeth are bean shaped, but I quite regularly, if I have baked beans, I'll end up with like the skin of one just like covering a tooth, and I'm sitting there going.
Well, next time, Lance, if I'm about, I've got some floss.
Yeah, you can clean this up for me.
I've got some Swish to go. Highly recommend Swish to go. Again, not a sponsor. Lance, I sent Lance some of these, so I'm going to now give Lance a chance to talk about these, because
do you know what? It's terrifying when he first told me what they were now, and I didn't want to do it because I thought I might wake up naked in a forest somewhere alone after I tried it. But I did try it, and actually, to be fair, it's get you out of jail, isn't it? Really, it's quite nice. To be fair, essentially, I mean, I did send Mike a little cheeky WhatsApp video of it, so whether that gets mistakenly posted onto the NoFo Facebook page or not,
I might post that on there.
It remains to be seen, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, as a mouthwash go or a mouth hygiene to sort of freshen yourself up a bit, it certainly does a job. It's nice and small, and it get you out of jail quickly. So nice, not a bad little bit of kit that.
James C said toothbrush, toothpaste, and baby wipes. Job done. For wiping my backside, I use compressed toilet paper towels. So I mean, this basically this is not the equivalent of a toothbrush. This is not going to properly clean your teeth, but it does give healthier gums, it says, and a confident, fresh breath. Now, I can't remember last. Did we send some of these out with the goodie bags as well?
Probably. I'm sure I did. Well, Les is in the chat.
Oh, hang on. James did. Not tried my Swish.
Oh, there
yet.
You go. So I'm guessing you did.
Yeah, need to give it a go. Going to see how hard to DIY is the Grudence looked easy. Yeah, by all means, give it a go.
Yeah.
You try your
Well,
Switch.
that sort of leads you on to the end of the show, Mike, as well, doesn't it? So bear James's comment there in mind.
Yeah.
At the end of the show.
Gaz as well. Oh, guys, if you have had a chance to try it, give us a bit of feedback because it'd be quite good. Les Plain said, "Oi, oi, hi, Les."
Evening, Les. Yeah, if you did wake up in the forest, obviously naked, it weren't us. COVID restrictions and all that.
I got no phone.
No phone everywhere.
Rage says sugar-free chewing gum. Yeah, to be fair, sugar-free chewing gum is another good one as well. Obviously, that probably does actually help clean your teeth more than Swish. Swish is more like you've just woken up, you've got a mouth like a dog's ass, and you want to just kind of freshen it up a little bit. Whereas chewing gum actually helps get bits out your teeth, and obviously you can then take that out of your mouth. So that's quite good. Another one I've got as well. I worry about fresh breath when I'm on a MilSim, but I've also got some breath spray as well, breath freshening spray.
Right.
No idea where I've got that. I've to be fair, might have added the 2 by accident, but yeah, I've got those in there. Keep going. Nearly there. I've also got a permanent marker. Not really sure why it's in my welfare kit per se. I do find sometimes that you always need a permanent marker.
If I'm marking your toilet paper or something.
Well, 1, 2, I mean, if you're doing anything, it's just permanent markers I find quite useful. How do I know what a dog's ass tastes like? Turn a phrase.
How do you know what a dog's ass tastes like?
Now, talking of butt rash or crotch rot or whatever we called it.
Arse plague.
Arse plague. Germaline. Germaline is brilliant. Germaline is both an anaesthetic and an... Oh, what's the other one? Anaesthetic and...
I got Sudocreme.
Sudocreme would work. Antiseptic. Anaesthetic and antiseptic. So anything like that is obviously going to help immediately kind of numb anything that hurts and sort of basically try and fix that up quite quickly.
Even Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Just talking about Germaline, mate. You're missing out here.
It's that sort of episode.
Yeah. This is some highbrow shit going on here.
Last 2 things. I've got a little thermal emergency blanket. So it's like a little Mylar thing. Again, we had one particular MilSim where it was freezing. Now, it's not the one that you went on, Lance, with the snow. I think this one was at Longmoor. But my brother and I were in one of the sangers. And it was so cold up there, but we were meant to be on patrol and we weren't going to believe that. So we actually just cracked one of these open. And whilst one of us was on patrol, just kind of like keeping watch, the other one just had a little sort of hour kip. And we just sort of shared that, which was quite good.
And how did you find it? Did it actually have an effect? Did it?
It did have an effect. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is not the equivalent of like a 8,000 tog duvet or whatever.
Yeah. It's no snug pack at the end of the day, but it'll get you out of shit.
No. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I would highly recommend a Whoopee over this. But, I've got it. Again, if there is a problem or anything like that, I've got that with me. And the last thing, and I cannot say this enough, bring a spare pair of shoelaces with you that fit your boots. Because the time that my shoelaces snapped, if you're in the middle of a forest and you've got a wonky boot, it's a nightmare.
Wonky donkey, mate.
Nightmare. Now, I had some paracord, fortunately, but shoelaces, because they've obviously got the little sealed end, whatever you call it. I don't know. It's probably got some technical.
It's called a flugel binder.
A flugel binder. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
If you've seen Dirty Dancing, it's called a flugel binder.
I did not know that. I've not seen Dirty Dancing.
You need to go and watch Dirty Dancing, don't you? Homework for the weekend. There'll be a quiz Monday.
Honestly, spare shoelace, tactical shoelace.
No, not Dirty Dancing. Cocktail. Sorry, cocktail. Completely wrong.
Well, there you go. Look.
Yeah, cock that right up, didn't I? Yeah, sorry, cocktail. Flugel binder.
Yeah. Right, yeah, spare shoelace. And that's my little welfare kit, basically.
Nice.
So that's only little. It all fits into that little pouch. It doesn't weigh a lot, but it's kind of like one of those little... Not a bug-out bag. What are they called?
EDC sort of thing.
EDC type bag, yeah. So it's just like full of stuff that I found that I have previously needed. So I'm not stuck in that situation again, basically.
Yeah, Gaz there saying he changed his laces out to actually use paracord. It's a good shout, mate. Yeah, nice strong stuff.
Yeah, because that would be paracord is obviously stronger than a shoelace. I mean, I did use paracord in the end, but the problem was that I found was that the paracord was just really hard to thread. So by having the Flugen binder or whatever you're calling it,
Flugel binder,
made it a lot quicker. Yeah,
it's important you get that right.
Okay,
say it wrong, binder. It can mean something completely different.
Our German audience are all out there. I can't believe you just said that.
I don't even know if it's German or not. I have no idea. Vaseline from Terry. That's all he needs. Vaseline. Everything. Clean your boots, teeth, the lot.
Lee says might have to call you super drugs. Yeah. The thing is, though, in all honesty,
here comes the chemist.
I very much like to be prepared for stuff. Like, you know, I'm the sort of person that will make sure I've got stuff that I need, and I try and always learn from previous MilSims. Now, granted, I do generally tend to carry more stuff than I need, but at the end of the day, I have regularly had guys when we're out on MilSim go, "Oh, I really wish I had some Rennie or something like that." Like, there you go, got some.
Yeah, that's it.
I've yet to have anyone ask me for floss, to be fair, but you know, now they know.
You wait. No, now they know I've got it. That's out there in the world. You'll have all sorts. You'll have Op 4 coming up in the middle of the night.
You got
red light, and up to the fob. Have you got any floss? Thank you. Just back off. Scurries back into the hedge.
Gaz says the Vasilube is for the basher after the patrol. Yeah.
Oh.
Michael Brewer's just joined us. Evening, gents. Joined when Vaseline being mentioned. Typically, I'm late.
Oh, you've missed out on the juicy stuff, Mike. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, it's all downhill from now.
Yeah, well, if you've got the one sock inside the sleeping bag in the little storage pocket, you can just chuck the old Vaz tube in the sock, and you're happy. You're good to go. Yeah,
I'm now feeling a bit awkward because I've just realised my mum's watching. So hi, mum.
Wallop. Hello, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk about this quick as well. So my mum, I don't know if she's still there. Please nobody add her on Facebook because that'd be weird.
I feel a bit hurt that I didn't get one of these made for me, if I'm honest. But
yeah, my mum made this for me, and this is amazing. So for those that do MilSims that require bandages, I think we can all quite categorically say that having the little strips of fabric that someone has very kindly, to be fair, spent time cutting up and turn them into like the little strips of bandage.
It's a bit shit, isn't it, really?
After you've had that tied onto you with whoever's done it like a double knot, and that firstly you have to cut that one off because you know the knot's so tight you never get that undone again. The bandages, if you can get them undone, tend to fray and you get fabric and loose ends and all stuff.
Cheers, Dale.
All over the place. So my mum made me this, and it's amazing. So it's it's like a little compression bandage. So it's got a bit of Velcro on the end that attaches to itself. So you can just basically wrap that around anything, and then that's sealed. And it's nice and easy to undo. And then what she did was take a little bit of foam and make these little fabric pouches. And then that's obviously slapped to that. So, when you're out and about and you need to get bandaged.
It looks like a proper field dressing, doesn't it? So
it actually looks like something a little bit more medical than like just a... I mean, it's hard for me to do, in all honesty, one-handed, but there we go.
But you wouldn't apply that. But, yeah, I mean, that looks perfect. It does actually look like a trauma dressing, doesn't it, as such? So for the authenticity and the... realism, I suppose, that you'd be going for in a MilSim, then that's sort of perfect, isn't it?
So I might be making a few more of these because I did find a wedge of foam the other day. So if anybody would like one, let me know. First comes, first served. Oh yeah, Gaz has just said the same thing.
There we go then.
Yeah, Gaz, she make a fortune selling to MilSim companies. So if anybody would like some, send me a message and I will very kindly ask my mum. I might have to charge a little bit for something or other, but we'll see.
I just feel like Kevin and Perry now. Mrs. Fraser, could I have a bit of bandage, please?
Could I have a bandage, please?
Can I have a bandage, please, Mrs. Fraser, and a jam sandwich?
Oh, sorry, I just realised Dale's left. Oh.
Yeah, I did say goodbye to Dale. He's going to catch up later on. So all good there.
Wayne just said add a bit of red dye. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it's customisable. I think I did actually have some red on it at some point. I think that might have come off.
Some red food colouring or something like that, or a red Sharpie. Get in there,
but it's great. I mean, I've used this loads of times. And the other advantage that I found, and it's completely accidental, that is the perfect size to fit into the, the pouches on a BDU or anything like that. It literally just slots in there. It's perfect fit. And it also adds a little bit of protection if you get shot in the arm.
Yeah, buffs out the arm a bit as well.
Yeah. You look head. So, just want to say publicly thanks, Mum, because that is awesome. I use it all the time.
Good stuff. That's it. That's the next meme now. Excuse me, Mrs. Fraser.
Excuse me, Mrs. Fraser. Cool. That's my welfare kit. Do you want to talk about yours, Lance?
Yeah, I mean, again, mate, it's not too dissimilar from the bits and bobs you've got. I haven't really concentrated too much on the old floss and all that, but now that I know you've got it, I don't have to, which is great. But I've got it's very similar, a little sort of EDC type pouch. And that's just got like wet wipes and personal mini hygiene stuff. It's got my little Dr. something rather's toothbrush, which I've literally just cut down so it's nice and small. So it's a little diddy toothbrush and a little protective case. I can open up the little bastard.
And that's it broken.
There it is. No, it does open. So there's my little, just sawed him in half, just so he's a nice little compact size. And that'll sit in there with some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes, and obviously because of the old COVID and all that going on, I've got some hand sanitizer and bits and bobs like that in there. And it's Dr. Fresh, toothbrush by Dr. Fresh. You can get them in Waitrose and Tesco's and things like that, little toothpaste and things. So yeah, just like your mouth hygiene. I've got my foot powder in there, obviously antibacterial medicated foot powder for drying after you've dried your feet off, just powdering your feet up at the end of the day or end of a long patrol, and you can change out your socks and put some fresh ones on. So it's always important to make sure you keep your feet nice and dry and protected. Other little bits and bobs to consider, depending obviously the time of year that you're going on a MilSim. Bug spray, bug repellents, things like that.
So many of these things have green on them, lads.
I know. Do you know what I mean? That is British Army issue deep cream for mosquitoes. I mean, do you know what I mean? It don't even. I don't know how I can show you it. I mean, I'm trying. It's stupid. But yeah, that's deep cream. I'm gonna hold it up there. It's deep cream. There it is. Just see it there. Again, anti bug sprays and things like that. Sunscreen, a big one. Make sure you got some good sunscreen in here. Again, and a lot of these smaller travel item size stuff you can pick it up in Superdrug, Wilco. They've got a massive. Actually, Wilco's have got a huge selection of everything in miniature for some strange reason. Down in the till area, you can literally kit yourself out in miniature stuff. So a little sun lotion, and again, an after sun if you do cop it on the back of the neck during the day. Some sunburn relief cream, things like that to consider. And like Mike's covered, a Sudocrem or Germaline, Savlon, stuff like that for any grazes or abrasions or something that you might get. Definitely keep it cleaned and make sure you got the bits and bobs on there to dress it. And also with some of these items here, if you are in a team, then you could have sort of maybe not so much at the moment, like a communal medic kit type thing, because you need to, obviously the touch potential is going to be there, but in the future, something to consider. What's he laughing at now?
Sorry, the touch potential.
Yeah, when touching's allowed again, and we can all just get in the mix in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll be laughing all the way to the bank. One big pot of Vaseline, all good. But like I said, if you can get sort of like a team kit. I mean, obviously we've got a team medic kit which goes in the medic's day sack, which is basically the same as my personal IFAC, but it's got a lot more to it. Oops, excuse me, what have I done there? Opened up a window. So this is like moving on to that. This is my own personal first aid kit, which I would carry in my webbing set, or if I'm not running my webbing set, I'll sling it in my day sack. And that is essentially just got some bandages, a few plasters, paracetamol, bits and bobs like that. It's got a foil blanket. One thing I do carry on me, which you don't really get in many kits, and this is from leading on from where I work, because I work on the underground. We haven't really got access to clean running water in the horrible, dirt, disgusting tunnels that we have to work in. So I carry some not only bottled water but some burn gel with me for, obviously, where we work. We're using heat guns for heating cables and bits and bobs like that. So that's more of a lead on from there. Really, is carrying something to treat a burn. I mean, obviously, warm, tepid running water is the best thing for treating a burn straight after it's happened, but we haven't got access to that sort of thing where I work. So the next best thing, obviously, these little mini burn gel sachets you can get for treating burns and cooling the skin around the where it's happened. And that's basically my small personal first aid kit. And like I said, we have got a bigger one which goes with the medic patch, the medic day sack, for the whole team, if you like, which has just got a few more extra bits and bobs of what's in here now. And then obviously on top of that, you've got your own personal medications and that, which you'll obviously liaise with your team leader and the event staff. If you've got any specific medical needs, make sure obviously people know about where things are and what to do or who to call if something does happen.
For the love of God, if you've got an EpiPen, carry your EpiPen with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make sure people know about it, because if you're allergic to bees or something like that and something stings you, it's no good it being back at your fob.
Absolutely. That's a big one. Yeah, must inform definitely the event organizer, and most definitely let your team leader know if it's your first event, you've not met the person before. I know it can be a little bit daunting. I mean, I'm quite lucky, touch wood, I haven't got too many ailments like that. But if you do suffer with diabetes or anything like that at all, or you are allergic to something, you have to carry an EpiPen. Then it's essential that you let people around you know that if anything does happen, it's in my left arm pocket, it's in my side webbing pouch, it's in my plate carrier. Where is it? Just so they can get to it quick and get someone who can operate it, or whatever you've got to do to do it. So yeah, very, very important, guys.
Yeah, Michael Brewer just said diabetics need to make themselves known.
Absolutely,
too.
mate. Yeah, no, not taking nothing away from that, mate. 100%. Yeah, anything like that at all. So,
Gaz says, random one. Do you have a condom in your boo-boo kit? It's a random one that I learned in the army. It can be used to keep an injury from getting wet.
I haven't. But
I don't. It's not a bad thought, but I genuinely concerned.
I'd like to delve into this a bit more now, though.
Can you imagine if you rocked up and it's like someone's going, oh yeah, have you got something I can just bandage this up? And you're like, yeah, 2 seconds, just get your IFAC out, and you're like, and the condom just falls on the floor. Yeah.
It's not what you think.
It's a good shout,
not
though.
What you
it's a good
think.
shout. Yeah.
Is your mum still in the chat?
I don't know. I'm hoping not.
You say it's for your posh wank later on, but
I might have to have a chat with her and not let her join again.
Now listen, Ron. Right? There are things that are going to be said in this room.
Edward said, health-related question. I get really bad backache after MilSim sometimes. No idea why, though. I carry only a holster with an MK23 and a spare mag on my left and nothing on the right. Just a Camelback as well. Would this be enough to cause it? I mean, obviously, we're not medical professionals, just to clarify legally before we answer this question. I find the same. To be honest.
I'm a bit sore in that after a MilSim, but I wouldn't say I've got a horrendous backache or anything like that. But Ed, you're a sniper, or if I remember rightly, I remember Ed being on the show before, and we were talking about how much people carry when they go out on a patrol. I'm sure it was Ed who mentioned that he only runs he runs he does MilSim as well, and he runs his sidearm with a couple of spare mags and a Camelback, and that's predominantly it when he does a patrol or if he goes out on a recon. I'm sure it was Ed. I might be wrong, but I'm wondering if you are a sniper, Ed, whether it's because you're prone quite a lot of the time, maybe, and perhaps you're arching up to look and you're sort of holding that position. Perhaps maybe some of that could be something to do with it, mate. I'm not, like I said, we're not medical professionals, but certainly with my work, I carry a heavy tool bag every night, which is a backpack, and I have to stomp up and down the track for X amount of miles or kilometers. It was Ed. So, okay, cool. Yeah. So good memory. It could be that. I get a deep tissue sports massage done sort of I try and do it every 3 months, and I hadn't done it for a long time. And I used to go and see a guy up near me, and the first time I went, he actually said that my hips were like that. So if I laid down on a bed, if I was laying down, my feet were actually offset from each other. Where I was carrying the load on one side of me all the time, my prominent side, or my dominant side, should I say, it was doing that, and it actually twisted my hips out of alignment. So he actually worked away like that, worked on all my joints, worked on all my muscle tissue and all that, and literally squared me back up because my shoulders were like that. And I didn't even notice it. He said, but you can feel it, you can see it, physically see it. He said, it's really bad. And since then, he goes, must get it done at least sort of 3 months. So maybe it's worth you getting like a deep tissue sports massage. And it hurts, I'm not going to lie. I was climbing the walls. I wanted to punch him in the face. I was swearing at him, everything. But afterwards, drink a ton of water because it will dehydrate. It will wipe you out. If you have a good hour session doing this, it will completely wipe you out. But the next couple of days, mate, spring in a step, just like magic. Just no joint pain, nothing like that. Really good. Highly recommend it. A deep tissue sports massage from a therapist if you are getting pains like that. That's what I'd recommend.
Another one is, I found this when I changed from laying on the floor to laying in a hammock. Do think about your sleep system a bit as well, because obviously if you can add a little bit more comfort when you're sleeping at night, obviously, it's no good stressing yourself out throughout the day and then, you're laying on a hard, rocky ground throughout the evening. So, think about maybe, I don't know, sort of a slightly thicker base layer or something like that, or a hammock or some sort of alternative system maybe could help.
As Rage just pointed out there, it could be your footwear, whether you're walking, whether you're you're overcompensating for your walk or anything like that, or your gait. Could be something amiss there, buddy. There's a multiple things it could be that's causing the backache, essentially. But I'll definitely look at, like Mike's just said, your sleep system, how you're getting your head down over night time. Even the cold can affect it. Can give you sore backs. And there's a couple of guys I work with who really suffer with, and they've actually gone to the point where I think you get army issue ones. Actually, it's like the Norgie long sleeve t-shirt, where the back of it's like a grandad flap at the back, so it really hangs down lower than it does at the front. So you've got your normal waistband front sort of length at the top. But then as it gets to, you've got like a flap that goes over your arse cheeks and beyond. And basically, so they can tuck it right into their trousers. So if they are bent over working or anything like that, it won't ride up and expose your back to the elements. So something to bear in mind there. Also, temperatures, things like that.
Cold as well. I mean, I seem to find that I tend to find I hunch up a little bit more because you're constantly like not clenching per se, but you're a lot more sort of constricted.
You are going to be more.
Sometimes that can be a bit stressful.
Then in the summer, you're going to be a little more loosey goosey in the summertime, aren't you? So
yeah. Sounds like we might have to do a an embarrassing bodies version of November Foxtrot episode.
Do some little live.
Get some genuine medical professional on, not just us.
Did anybody see the who's the matey, the PE teacher? I done the YouTube, the live streams for the schools.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, whoever he is.
Did you see the one where he farted?
No.
I got to tell you about this. Sorry, when I was just doing about my exercises then. So the camera, it's just his studio, right? No, he's not there. He's off camera, and he doesn't realise, but he's gone live. It's right. So he's live to thousands and thousands of people.
Joe Wicks.
And
Joe
literally,
Wicks,
right, the camera's there. You can see his studio, and all you hear is this. And then after that, he goes 3, 2, 1. Cartwheels! He just cartwheels onto the screen. He doesn't even realise that it's gone live already. Priceless. Look that up, boys. I was dying when I saw that. Yeah, it's just the fact he did a cartwheel countdown after his massive guff. Definitely worth a look. It's brilliant. Completely off topic. Do apologise.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Back to welfare.
A couple guys in the chat that seem to have sort of back pain and stuff. Mark Hutchins says, I've got 2 bulging discs in my lower back. I have a deep tissue massage every 2 weeks.
Yeah, good show, mate. Evening, Mark. Yeah, welcome along, mate.
Who else? There was a couple other people. I can't find anyone. So Sean says, I sometimes wear a back brace. So, yeah. Clearly quite a common thing.
No, Rage File. Sean sometimes wears the girdle. I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of them the French lady ones with the peephole cup.
A bustier, or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
corset. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what bustier. Bustier's a bra, isn't it? I think I don't know.
Frilly, lacy. It's lovely. He looks lovely in it. I must admit, he does a good show on.
Yeah, moving on. Rage File.
Anyhow, enough of that bollocks.
To Edward, if you use a plate carrier, you want to put a bit of weight on the back as well. As all the weight in the front stretches your lumbar muscles, which causes backache. I mean, I know Edward was saying in the last episode, obviously doesn't tend to wear sort of all the same sort of stuff that everyone else wears because he's a sniper. So he seems to be running a much more lightweight setup. So, but it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Right. First aid. Oh yeah, I was going to cover a few first aid bits I had. I don't generally tend to have an IFAK, rightly or wrongly. So I've got the stuff in my welfare kit. So I have got things like the paracetamol. I didn't cover that because I didn't think I needed to. But I do also have a St John's ambulance first aid kit that I normally have with me.
Yeah.
In my if I'm going to somewhere like Longmoor or Octo 8, for example, and when we did that, we had like the big flight cases. So I tend to just kind of bung all my kit into there, and then I kind of carry stuff that maybe I wouldn't carry normally if it was in a Birkin, because I want to try and keep lighter. Funnily enough, I know that's not necessarily clear from all the things that I was carrying. This stuff is interesting. This is butt shield.
Yes.
This is butt irritation protection. So I'm guessing in the same veins as the compression shorts, the boxers. This is designed basically no more pain from saddle sores, friction burns, and butt rashes. It basically is lubrication for your thighs. I'll be honest with you.
I wasn't sure if it felt good on the whole or not.
I bought this before I bought compression shorts, and the compression shorts are a lot nicer to wear because this does leave you feeling a little bit slippery. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go for that. One thing I did want to talk about was magnesium oxide tape. So blisters are a massive thing with people trying new boots and stuff like that. So if you've got any change of footwear, or if you're not been out in a while and your feet have softened up a bit, magnesium oxide tape, if you wrap a layer of that over sort of the more prone areas. I mean, I'm not an expert in this, so please by all means sort of YouTube it. It does just add an extra layer. It keeps the feet dry. It gets like a bit of an abrasive layer within the sock and stuff to kind of protect your skin. I walked Dartmoor on a wild camping trip, and I thought if I walk, and I get halfway up there or whatever, and I've got a blister, then it's going to be agony. I've put a few layers of this on every day that I was up, and it was great. Like I had no blisters at all. So yeah, magnesium oxide tape. That's there.
No, that's
also a blister kit as well. So again,
yeah, that's something I need to
get a blister,
I haven't got anything to relieve a blister.
That helps. Yeah.
Oh, good shout, mate. Fair play.
I've got more Rennie.
Just a comment from Mike Brewer in the chat there, mate, regarding obviously paracetamol and ibuprofen before he goes out for the day. Has some with him.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
So whether he takes that
so
prior to knowing that he's got, something.
Yeah.
If he knows he's going to be painful by the end of an event as such or whatever it's going to be, then obviously it's the dulling effect of them. Yeah, it's a good shout.
Yeah, Gaz says the same. I'll do that at the start of the day at lunchtime. I'm assuming that was that. It's directly afterwards. It seems logical.
Yeah.
Ragefile says a thin pair of socks under your normal socks does a similar job to the magnesium oxide tape. It does. I do find sometimes that if you get your feet wet or something like that, then I prefer the magnesium oxide tape. Again,
zinc
personal
oxide we used for webbing burns from Terry there. I'm guessing the rubbing across the lower back and round the sides, I'm guessing. Good shout, mate. Fair play.
Yeah, I mean, also in this first aid kit, I've also got some because it's like the typical St. John's one, so it's got burn shield cream and all this and it's also got like emergency eye wash and stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I actually have, if I can find it, because I always forget where it is. I actually got burnt quite severely on the MilSim. I think it's on that arm. Genuinely lost it. I've got a huge scar. I can't see it in this light. Basically,
it's huge. It's huge. I tell you, it's huge.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it quick. Where's it gone?
I call bullshit.
Maybe don't call bullshit. I genuinely can't remember where it is. I don't know the back of my hand very well. Wherever it is. Oh, I don't know. I did somewhere on my body. There is a scar. Oh, blimey! What have I done? Basically, I was at the depot with, I think it was Ambush Adventures a long time ago. We were in a corridor and it was a proper skirmish as opposed to a MilSim. It was blue versus red, and I thought I'll just pop round the bottom of the door with my pistol, and basically someone lobbed a Mark V in and it went off on my arm. So my completely exposed arm, I had the Mark V go off straight on it, and I had a proper burn that was quite horrific. So the burn shield and stuff like that, I highly recommend taking, because things like that do happen in the summer, especially where you are rolling your sleeves up a bit more and things like that. Accidents can happen. We are throwing effectively fireworks at each other.
Exactly. So I mean, and to echo what Mike said there, guys, with the Mark V. I mean, I had a Mark V thrown over the fob at Longwall, and it landed in my dump pouch, and it went off in my dump pouch, and it actually burnt a hole through my dump pouch. And as thick as the fabric is on a dump pouch, obviously, if it lands directly on your skin, then you're going to be in trouble. You can see. I can see it from there, mate. Yeah, you can see it all on your forearm there. Yeah.
Basically, when it went off, I had a burn patch about that big. It has shrunk down over time, but that was pretty bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I bandaged it up and carried on because I wasn't going to let the red team lose.
Because he's hard as nails.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, I mean, the guy there. I mean, this was not an unsafe site. This was a properly managed site and everything like that. And the guys, one of the marshals was probably first aid trained, and he kind of but he was having to pluck out burnt bits of skin. And the burn stuff, I had all sorts of crap that had got into it from the Mark V as it had gone off. So, lesson learned on that one. I mean, also, could have been your face, Yeah,
luckily enough, it weren't there, mate. But but like I said, the damage is obviously done to your arm, Mike, and obviously what it done to my.
Michael Brewer said #hero. I'm really not a hero. There was
he just carried on going under fire as well, Mike. That was under fire, mate. And
we went there a couple of times. And they had so the block of buildings that we were in, and it was pretty much the same building. They had these. It was basically like barracks with these bookshelf things that they've got like above your bed that sort of stop, and they're kind of like it's just like a shelf, like a solid shelf unit. I thought I was being really clever, so I sort of popped out the door and then spun round and just smacked my shoulder into the side of this thing, and the bruise was proper rectangular. All along there because I was proper full whack ran into it. So maybe I'm just like a nightmare.
An accident prone.
I am a health and safety accident prone nightmare. But So, firstly, please be careful with pyro. But sorry, I didn't mean to leave the
hero
Mike.
Yeah. Hashtag hero Mike. Next hashtag of the episode right there.
Sorry,
James P saying, "What's the difference between zinc oxide tape and magnesium oxide tape?" I'm going to play a thingy here and say zinc oxide tape's got zinc in it, and magnesium oxide tape's got magnesium in it, and that's the only two differences I can tell. Mike,
I'm going to Google it.
And I've been genuine there. I actually don't know what the difference is, but that's the only two. First look, that's the only two differences I could spot.
I genuinely don't know. I know the magnesium oxide I learned about. I say when I was doing this while camping, and I was genuinely quite concerned about blisters because I am not, the most active of people, and if I don't get a good night's sleep and if I am miserable, then I'm proper miserable. So yeah. I don't know the difference. I just Googled how to stop blisters, and magnesium oxide was sort of a fairly common practice for that, basically. Yes, this is actually a good point. James C said, "Is all the stuff in the kit in date?" This is actually quite important. It's something I learned on my first aid course that I did. First aid bandages and stuff do go out of date. They're meant to be slightly airtight. I say slightly, because obviously the plastic and stuff degrades over time. So if you squeeze a bandage and it's sort of, like a packet of crisps, if you squeeze a packet of crisps, it's got like a slight pressure to it.
Yeah, sure.
If you lose that pressure, that bandage is no longer airtight and therefore can't be relied upon for being sterile. Yeah. So something to bear in mind. And again, eye wash and things like that. So first aid kits, you can get stuff from St John's Ambulance. This is obviously quite large to carry around with you, but you can obviously buy the stuff and then
kit or something like that. If it's you know what I mean, you can all just chuck in some bits and bobs, and they're not overly expensive for a 10-man kit, guys. I'm going to say put my balls on the block and say it's between sort of 30 and 40 quid for a 10-man first aid kit. If there is 10 of you, it's not a great deal of money between 10 guys, is it? To get a proper first aid kit for your team that can stay in your fob or stay in a team bag somewhere, or even in your medic's kit bag. At least he's got the kit on him then, if you're all moving together and stuff. So not a big layout, just to keep you guys safe and keeping you in the game that you've paid X amount of money to go take part in. And it turns out that you can't carry on because you've got terrible blisters and you've got no way of treating them or anything like that, then you sort of fucked up for yourself there, really, a bit, didn't you? So if there's anything anybody else thinks that we should have talked about, if you want to add that in the chat, we can obviously sort of discuss the merits, advantages. Maybe there's a reason why we haven't brought various things. I will just laugh, briefly. Gaz said, "Injured in the line of duty, you're my hero, Mike." He is, Gaz. You're absolutely right to say that, mate. Yeah, hashtag hero Mike. So there you go. There he is.
Blimey. I'm really not. I'm the idiot that got the
under fire as well. Just carried on after fire. You know what I mean?
Gaz also asked, "How's the comms pouch?"
Oh, fucking hell, not you. Gary, come on.
You'll be pleased to know that whilst I'm working on the first batch of patches, there might be in the second batch of patches a comms pouch patch. Comms pouch patch that I am working on.
Patch.
So.
It's fine, Gaz. Thank you very much, mate.
Says I work in hospital, so I acquire my first aid stuff from there. Sorry, I've got images of Rage just running around like vials of morphine, just like.
No, I've actually got some poor sod in a bed with his leg up, and then just Rage just whipping the bandage off, just pocketing it. Don't you say a fucking word. Just bugging out.
Rage demands a comms pouch patch.
Comms pouch patch. I can't even say.
I've got to finish designing it first. It's just a loose idea, but I'm doing the first sorted lot of patches and stuff first. So that is in the pipeline. So.
Lots of things in the pipeline, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be good. 2021's a year.
So while we're talking actually of comms pouches, I really want to say comms pouch patch now. While we're talking about comms pouches and stuff, obviously that was sort of a product that Lance has sort of proprietarily made by our friends over at Mission Tailors. I obviously spoke about my mum's amazing bandage idea that she came up with at the start of the episode. If anyone's got any weird and wonderful things that they've made, I'd be super keen and interested to see what you guys can come up with. Is there something that you do that you've seen? It's not generally used in airsoft, or maybe it's an idea you've seen of somebody else's that you've tried to replicate, or anything like that, or an improvement. Honestly, just tag us in a post on Instagram or put it on Facebook. It'd be really interesting to see, and maybe we could discuss beginning of next episode if anything comes in.
Yeah, definitely. Particularly if it's something to do like maybe you've got something unique that you take on a MilSim event with you or something like that, and it just helps you along for your weekend, or it's something quite unique to you and your style of play that you've sort of made yourself, or you've bastardized a few different things to come up with this Frankenstein of a MilSim gadget type thing that you've got. That'd be cool. It'd be good to see that. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, again, Gaz has just said that I've made rifles things with paracords. Even if it's something like that, that'll be interesting to see. Send it in, and we can have a little kind of a show and tell per se of stuff that we've made for our own stuff. Because obviously it's quite cool to make your own gear and bits and pieces like that. And it's
definitely all for the upcycling and stuff like that. Yeah, I put together a little paracord, sort of like a D-ring type thing for clicking on my sling to on my M4. So there's pictures of that.
Cool. Wayne says roll on Octo 8.
Defo, yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
I can't wait to get out.
Oh, mate, I know. I'm just like, come on, climbing the walls. But, yeah, it'll be good.
Cool.
All good.
I can't see anything else in the chat. I don't think anything that we've missed, per se.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Is there anything, Lance, that you wish you could have? Like you've maybe discounted from like a weight perspective or a size perspective. Just to give a bit of clarity to that. When we obviously go to Apocalypse Airsoft, usually that's kind of Bergen based. So you've got to pack everything in Bergen because you've got to lug it from A to B. Yeah. When we go to Longmoor or sort of other events where you can effectively park up and offload, do you find that there's things that you have in that kit that you don't have in the other kit?
Obviously, yeah. Like for Longmoor, essentially, it's your cot bed, isn't it? Your cabin bed, or whatever you want to call it. Whereas, like I say, if you're going in and you got to carry all your kit on your back, you're not going to be packing cot beds and fucking cabin beds.
You've got your little tub, don't you?
My little tub.
Your little barrel thing.
Oh, my little barrel. Yeah. Again, that's event dependent. I'm not going to be lugging that about me. That's just purely for chucking kit in, and especially like for likes of pyro, because you can keep it dry, keep it in a relatively secure container. Things like that. It's not just like left out in a bag somewhere in the element. So, but yeah, the little canoe. I mean, these barrels. I mean, if you actually bought a canoe barrel type thing, I mean, they're getting on for £100. I mean, I've got that one. It's an old chutney barrel, like industrial chutney barrel, black, two handles, big screw top lid. Probably sits, I don't know, probably about half of me, probably about 500 mil, maybe high. Cracking bit of kit. Use it as a table. Use it as a chair. And it's just a black barrel. You get one on eBay for about 15 quid, 10-15 quid for a chutney barrel. Look up a catering chutney barrels. Look up for them guys. Great for storing your kit, and even back at home in your loft. If you've got pyro and stuff like that, you don't want it to get damp or anything like that. Just chuck it in them barrels, mate. Screw the lid on tight, and that's it. There's a good little bit of kit that. But I mean, my little fold-out chair, that is a luxury of mine, and that does come with me in my Bergen. I've got a little fold-out chair which condenses down to about the size of that jungle pack. So I've got a chair which is like a skeletal frame. It all clicks down. Oh, has he got the picture? Oh no, there's the there you go. Yeah, there's the barrels. I thought you had that picture of me cooling down my gooch.
No, I haven't got that one. I'm going to save that one for. I might put that one up in the week as advertisement for the episode.
Lovely. But yeah, that chair it's a really comfortable bit of kit. I mean, I'm 15.5 stone. I will get a link to it, but I know I've got it off Amazon and it's not available at the moment. Hasn't been for a while actually, but there are similar other brands out there which all click down into they're like telescopic legs, and there's the elastic running through each of the legs. So you just click it in half, close it up, and it all just wraps up in a small little bag. But it's a nice little low-level reclining chair. Again, it's just a little bit of comfort. You don't really need it, but it's just like, oh, amazing. If you can afford to take it with you, then why not? You know what I mean? It's not, it's not real. Do you know what I mean? It's essentially a little bit of comfort for you. But yeah, I'd say for me, I mean, obviously in an ideal world, it'd be lovely to be able to take the cabin with the cot bed and sleep on that. But failing that, I mean, I'll be honest, I find sleeping in a hammock more comfortable than a cot bed. So, if I could set a hammock up in one of the rooms at Longmoor, I'd be in one of them. But it's not feasible. So,
well, to be fair, with the bunk beds, you probably could get it up in there.
There's always room for that, son. But yeah, hammocks are the best. They're the best. I love sleeping in a hammock. It's great.
We will be talking about sort of hammock systems and stuff at another time. because there is actually a particular way of sleeping in a hammock that stops your legs from going dead, as I found one of the first times I used it. So yeah, just jumping into the chat, Sean would fill the tub with beer.
Yeah, just be a straw in the top of that for Sean. Maybe sorted for the weekend.
Yeah. Michael Brewer, you said skill maybe. I'm not sure what you mean.
Skill maybe.
Not sure, Michael. If you could explain a little bit more in the chat, I'd be interested to see what that means.
Yeah.
James C, DIY fan goggles and a lightweight tack vest. Yep, stuff like that. Send us a picture of that. That'd be awesome.
Cool.
Let me just whack up the how you can get in touch with us. So you can email us at nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_Nofo. Facebook is at November Foxtrot Nofo, and YouTube is November Foxtrot.
You're not wrong, though, mate. You're not wrong. He's on to me. Where's my?
Oh, okay.
I've got you. Where's my gilly? I'm going.
Oh, blimey! Right, so that's pretty much the end of this episode. We are going to be talking about how to get the most from an airsoft event next week. Hopefully, we're going to have a guest who will be giving us their sort of unique perspective. So yeah, feel free to get in touch. If you want to get in touch with us, there's obviously all our contact details at the bottom scrolling past now. It'd be really cool to see what you guys can come up with, and maybe we can do a bit of show and tell. And it could be awesome if we come up with like the next amazing idea. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go make one of those. So
there we go.
But yeah, until then, we'll see you next week, and stay nofo. We've got to come up with a better slang.
Take care of yourselves and each other. Oh, that's Jerry Springer. I can't use that. Fuck it.
Right. See you later, guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.